It was nighttime at the school dorms. Down in the student lounge that was lit only by a single lamp, gathered in it were just about every girl in the dorm, minus Twilight, Sunset, Fluttershy, Applejack, Pinky, Rainbow, Rarity, and Vinyl. Okay, we're all here. Adagio began. As you all know, tomorrow is the last day of spring break, and I believe we should end it on a high note. What sort of high note? Octavia inquired. Adagio smirked. I propose we give our dear Spike a little show. A beauty contest, to be precise. The girls gasped. What a wild idea. Lyra gasped. Wonderful, Photo said in approval. I love it, Sonata beamed. Meh, I'm not one for that stuff, Lightning Dust said. That's okay, because we'll need you and another to bring Spike to us. Adagio answered. Bring Spike to us. Sonata asked. Why not just ask him to come? Derpy asked. Too cliché. I think a little kidnapping will rouse him up for when he watches the event. And is there a reason Twilight and the others aren't with us? Trixie asked in concern. Because those girls will only ruin our fun and protect Spike. Adagio answered. Yeah, buzzkills, Aria added. So we're keeping them in the dark about this. Are all of you with me? Adagio asked her fellow students. Yeah, the girls started agreeing right from left, while Trixie was looking concerned about this thing and keeping her newest close friends in the dark. The next morning, Spike woke up and got changed. After looking out his window and seeing how sunny it looked, he smiled. Looks like today's gonna be a gorgeous day. He stepped out of his room and walked down the hall. Wonder if they're serving anything new in the lounge today, he asked, unaware he was being watched from behind. As it turned out, Lightning Dust and Aria Blaze were peeking around a corner and were slowly creeping up on him. As they were right behind him, Spike started looking concerned. Before he could do anything, Aria put a potato sack over his head. Hey, what the? Spike demanded, only for Lightning and Aria to lift him up and carry him. They too struggled, as Spike was trying to break free. Come on, we got to get him to the gym, Lightning Dust said as the two carried Spike off. Later on, Spike was sitting in a chair in the dark with a spotlight shining on him. The sack that covered his head was removed. Spike squinted his eyes at the spotlight shining in his face, and when he tried to get up he saw his wrists and ankles were tied to a chair. He struggled before calling out, What's the meaning of this? I demand answers. Answers you want, then answers you shall receive, came a voice, as the lights came on and Spike saw he was in the gymnasium. Hanging above the gym stage was a sign reading, Academy Beauty Contest. Spike spoke, Beauty Contest. Correct, came the voice as Adagio approached with Sonata and Aria behind her. What's going on here? Spike asked as he trembled. What's going on is we're going to end spring break with a bang. Sonata smiled. I'm lost, the boy said. What Sonata means is we're having a beauty contest and you are our audience, Aria elaborated. I am, of course, and we're all eager to see your reaction to what we have planned, Adagio said. We as in you three? Spike inquired. Not just us silly, Sonata answered. As Adagio turned Spike's chair around to see just about every girl was present, Spike felt like he was a prisoner to Amazons and was unable to do anything to escape. What surprised him was he saw no sign of any of the Rainbooms present. He thought, I guess those girls weren't in on this act. Spike's chair was spun back to face the stage and Adagio, who spoke, Buckle up, Spike. We're gonna give you a show, she smirked, while Spike blushed in arousal. Back at the dorms, Twilight, who was knocking on Spike's door, heard no answer. He must have gone out. But where? She walked down the hall to see Sunset and the other Rainbooms. Hey girls, have you seen Spike this morning? No, Twilight, we haven't, Rarity admitted. Is something wrong? Fluttershy wondered. Well, he doesn't appear to be in his room, Twilight explained. Did you try calling him? Applejack asked. Twilight facepalmed, of course. So silly of me. She pulled out her cell and called him. Spike's cell phone was in his pocket and was vibrating, but Spike couldn't answer it with his wrist tied to the chair. Twilight, seeing he wasn't picking up, sighed. He's not answering. Maybe we should go look for him, Fluttershy suggested. Good idea, Fluttershy, Rainbow answered. Right, Pinky said as she stepped off screen and came back dressed as Sherlock Holmes. Let's find our missing friend, she spoke in an English accent. Is the costume really needed? Twilight asked rhetorically. Well, if we're going to be solving the mystery of the missing Spike, one of us should look the part, the party girl explained. She's got a point, Vinyl admitted. Twilight sighed. All right, let's search around the dorm. Maybe someone else has seen him. So the girls walked along to find their friend. Back with Spike, he continued to watch the stage until Amethyst Star spoke into a mic. and welcome to Canterlot Academy's beauty contest. We have some bona fide beauties here for our resident male student, Spike Drake. Now let's get on with the show. Spike looked at the stage as Amethyst Star continued. First up, we have two sisters who do just about everything together, unless you count bathing together. They are strong, athletically built, and know how to look sexy in sweat. Here we have Flitter and Cloud Chaser. From behind a curtain on the stage came the two girls, both dressed in short gym shorts that showed off their tight asses and tight tops that hugged their breasts. The two posed in their gym wear before walking off stage and danced around the trapped boy. Flitter was shaking her booty right in Spike's face as she looked back at him, winking. Like what you see, big boy. She slapped her own behind, causing Spike's growing erection to pitch a tent. Cloud Chaser came up behind him and draped her arms down his torso. Her breasts were pressing into the back of his head, and spoke. We wanted to have with you some one-on-one or spring break, Spike. Even the beach could have been better if it was just us three, but this can be just as good. She pecked Spike's cheek as he got flustered. Flitter sat herself in Spike's lap, feeling a poke into her butt. Oh, feeling a bit naughty are we, Spike? She leaned into his chest. Honestly, it's not what it looks like. He winced as she leaned in closer. Flitter smirked as she leaned in close. Don't deny it. Just embrace it. She leaned in and kissed Spike, who lost control of himself and returned it. Looks like we have some sparks flying. Amethyst Star called into the mic, as all the other girls watched in amazement. Adagio watched from the side with Aria and Sonata. He's really turned on, isn't he? Sonata asked. I'll say he is. Aria agreed. And this is just the beginning. Adagio smirked. Outside the dorms, the Rainbooms were looking around. Still nothing. Applejack asked Twilight. Not a thing, she answered. Oh, I hope Spike isn't hurt. Fluttershy trembled. Don't even bring that up, Fluttershy, Rainbow warned her. Sorry, Spike's a big boy. He can take care of himself, Vinyl reminded them. You know, I find it odd that no one else seems to be here at the dorms, Rarity noted. Yeah, that's barely happened even on breaks, Sunset added. Pinky gasped. What if Spike and all the other girls have been sucked into a wormhole, transporting them to some alien planet? Rainbow rolled her eyes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the reason. Then what else could it be? Pinky demanded, while getting into Rainbow's face. Pinky, this is no time to be a conspiracy theorist. We need to keep looking, Twilight ordered, as they continued to look around. Back at the gym, Spike was still receiving pleasure from many of the girls participating in the contest. Currently, Octavia, who was wearing shorts and a sexy corset that hugged her body and pushed her breasts together, used her cello bow to lift Spike's chin up to look her in the eyes. Among my greatest masterpieces I've ever composed, this will be my top hit, Octavia said, as she kissed Spike, who like before with Flitter and Cloud Chaser returned it. When they parted, Octavia went to join many of the other girls who had already tantalized Spike like Flitter, Cloud Chaser, Bonbon and Lyra, who were in skimpy swimsuits and photo finish, Pixel Puzzers and Violet Blur, who were all dressed as go-go dancers. Amethyst Star spoke into the mic again, and that was our very own Octavia melody. The girls applauded. How much more of this? Spike asked. Plenty, Amethyst Star answered. And next we have a trio of girls best known as the Flower Trio. Give it up for Lily, Rose and Daisy. Stepping out from behind the curtain on stage were the three girls dressed in Arabian harem girl outfits. Spike's eyes widened as the three did a little Arabian dance off stage and circled him like lions to a gazelle. The Flower Trio started flirting with him and draping themselves over him as a scent was caught by Spike's nostrils. Is that new perfume you three are wearing? Why, yes it is, Lily answered. Eau de Spring Garden, Daisy stated. You like it? Rose asked. It does smell pleasant, he admitted. Trixie watched from the side, seeing so many girls were given the chance to use this contest to get closer to Spike. She started feeling guilty and thought, I can't believe I'm here to enjoy this while Twilight and the others aren't. It's not fair to us to leave them out. Suddenly she looked determined. Well, I'll fix that. She snuck away from the gym. Meanwhile, Twilight and the Rainbooms were looking around the track and field. We've checked the auditorium, the library and the cafeteria. Final listed off, and still no one, Rainbow added. The only place we haven't checked is the gym, Rarity said. Then let's go there, Twilight said. Girls, Trixie called out as she ran over. Trixie. What happened? Sunset asked. Where'd you come from? Pinky asked. The gym, and I'm glad I found you. It's Spike. Spike, they asked. Is he all right? Applejack asked in concern. Don't worry, he's fine. But the rest of the girls are giving him a show. Rarity wondered. Last night, every girl minus you guys were meeting and decided to hold a beauty contest to see who can get a better reaction out of Spike. What? Pinky gasped. And why weren't we briefed on this? Rainbow demanded. Because we'd probably try and object to it. Fluttershy guessed. That's right, Twilight nodded. But you were a part of it. Rarity accused Trixie. Yes, I know, but I can't stand everyone else trying to put on a show for Spike without letting all of us get the chance. That's why I came to get you. We need to end this so that we can get Spike out of there. Then lead the way, Twilight ordered, and Trixie led them to the gym. Back at the gym, Spike was currently getting flirted by Colgate, who was seducing him with her beautiful smile which sparkled like pearls. When she finished, Amethyst Star announced into the mic. Thank you, Colgate. And now we have our final 3 competitors. Give it up for Adagio, Aria and Sonata. The Dazzlings. From behind the curtain came the singing trio dressed in sexy Greek robes while we're vocalizing. Spike watched in awe as the 3 walked down from the stage and around him. All 3 were flirting around with him, as Spike was unable to do anything, if he wanted to. As the others watched, Trixie snuck the girls in and brought them around to the stage behind the curtain. They watched at the display in shock. You have him tied to a chair. Twilight asked in disbelief. It wasn't my idea. Trixie defended herself. We have to get him out of here, Applejack said. But before they could do something, Pinky spoke up. Wait, why don't we take the fight to everyone here? What do you mean? Fluttershy asked. Let's join the contest. Join, Rainbow asked. Yeah, we can top all these girls, in our regular clothes. Sunset asked. No, I got something better. Pinky ran at all of them, as they cried in protest while their clothing was being launched up. After the Dazzlings finished their performance, Amethyst Star spoke, and there you have it, and by the looks of Spike's face we have our winners. Wait, came Pinky's voice from backstage. She popped her head out from behind the curtain. You haven't counted us. The Rainbooms. The curtain opened up revealing all of the Rainbooms and Trixie standing on stage wearing only their bras and panties. The rest of the students gasped at their sudden appearance, while Spike was wide-eyed seeing all of his closest girls in their undergarments. Whoa mama! This is an outrage, Adagio called. You cannot just jump right in and present yourselves. We just did, Rainbow smirked. Or are you afraid of losing? Final added, while Adagio growled. The girls came down from the stage and started swooning and flirting on Spike, rubbing themselves against his chest and shoulders. Pinkie Pie and Rarity each took one of his hands and began sucking on his index fingers. Spike moaned in delight and thought, this is so hot. This is like eating a campfire s'more. Compared to all the girls you've been hitting on me all day, this is the best. Suddenly Spike saw Rarity and Twilight sit down in his lap. Don't worry, darling. Once this is over, we're getting you out of here. But until then, enjoy, Twilight said, as the two performed a double cheek kiss on Spike. Spike blushed before Rainbow and Applejack did the same, followed by Pinky and Fluttershy, Sunset, Shimmer and Vinyl. And finally Trixie gave him his final kiss. Spike, who had looked as red as a tomato, spoke. I picked them as the winners. The students were surprised until Amethyst Star spoke. You heard it here, girls. The Rainbooms and Trixie are the winners. This can't be, Adagio cried. But it is, Sunset retorted, as she and Twilight untied Spike from the chair. He got off and rubbed his wrists. Thanks, girls, and thank you all for this wonderful contest. You all were fantastic. Honestly, this had to have been a great way to end spring break. Except for the whole capture me and tie me up bit, that I could have done without. The girls chuckled sheepishly. But why don't we all go back to the dorms and celebrate the last day of spring break together? That sounds great, Twilight confirmed. I concur. Trixie agreed. Soon every other student was agreeing, including the Dazzlings, who finally accepted their defeat. Applejack spoke up. But first I think maybe we should put some clothes on. She noticed they were still in their underwear. I don't know, I kinda like this, Spike said, only to receive an annoyed glare from Twilight and winced. Then again, it's your choice. Twilight nodded, as she and the others went to put their clothes back on. Spike thought to himself with a grumble, wish I could have gotten selfies of them like this.
たち駆け抜けるように溢れる想いだけ信じていつか特別になりたい思いっきり受け止めてよね命が今心の旋律は君のもとへと見てく抱きしめて愛しき